Start at the beginning again. Good morning! Welcome to Writer's Right. I'm Ann Kimbrough, and we are here to do two 25-minute writing sprints. Are you ready? Are you awake? We will do the first one. We tried to start, the royal we, 5 after the hour. So until then, are you ready? Is your body ready to write? Ah! Hey, Yvette, how are you? Good to see you. What are we working on today? Are you ready? Do you know what you're doing? Do I? I do know what I'm doing. I'm really close to being ready to publish a couple books. So I'm still proofing the paperback. It's really weird. I've proofed them so many times up to this point because they were Kindles, and I can still find errors. And part of me is like, are you proofing an old copy? or were there just that many when you published it as a Kindle? So I'm going to have to re-upload it as a Kindle as well. But I hope you guys are all well, that you can see me, hear me. Tim! Well, that's a blast from the past, man. No. How are you doing, Tim? Good to see you. Let me try to get my chat open. I can actually type something. Polishing. Oh, your episode 9 of your Vella. Ooh, cool. You're gonna catch up to me. I could pull that up too if I actually do some writing. All right. What's going on today, Tim? What's going on with your books, man? Yeah, I'm promoting my book again. I was going through. Can I promote yours again? I'm here to promote everybody's books. You're off to work. Oh, you're off work. Good. I'm glad you're going to join us and do some writing. I'm sure you find time to write around, the many times I'm not on the air streaming live. But I'm glad you joined us today. We're going to start here in just a couple minutes. I don't feel tired yet, but it's going to hit me. I did not want to go to bed last night. I mean, as a writer, do you have that? I probably should have just gotten up and written, but I sort of went to bed late, and then one of the fire alarms started chirping at 2 in the morning. But I was still awake, so I can't say it woke me up, but it also kept me up longer. So, am I still sleeping? Am I dreaming? Allie! How are you? Nice for you to tune in. I thought you'd be working. Oh, cool. Cool. Well, Tim, I'll put your book up on Monday then. I wanted this up to inspire me because this is the series I'm trying to get done. I have, it's really weird to read. I had to reread this book. This is the very first book in the series of my Cozy Mystery Girls, Fit Girls. And it was interesting to read the first one. I think the second, third, and fourth are better than the first one. But I really enjoyed it. So that was a good feeling that at least to reread it after this time, I was still happy. You got off early and you came right here. Yay! Thanks, Allie. All right. I hope you guys are gonna write today with me. I am editing actually the second book in this Cozy Mystery series. This is like I'm editing the formatted paperback, right? I finally figured out all the kinks to that. Sergio's here too. Wow! If Andrew joined us, we'd have pretty much most of the gang here. How's the what? Oh yeah, Sergio, that is true. How are you doing? Are any of you in this terrible weather system? Some of that is just freaky to watch. I honestly, after Hurricane Katrina, I don't know how you stayed in that area. But I hope everyone's been safe. I hope you're not talking about my horrible water problem, are you? I'm talking about the storm horrible water problem. Our drought is still a drought, but yeah. All right, let's get writing. We have 25 minutes on the clock. I buried it, but I'm gonna find it. It's time. Let's do it. On your mark, get set, right. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, we're kind of on time. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna move this up so I can. How am I gonna do this? That's the problem with doing it all on one computer. I don't want to block chat, but I can block my face for me. Yeah. Oh, you meant my drought. Yeah, that is true, Allie. It does feel like half of our country is drowning with all these storms hitting. And the other half, we need water. Yeah, nothing's changed so far. Sort of a long-term issue. It's really crazy that in the span of my son's life, we've gone from having plenty of water to none. Not none, but, you know, seriously bad conditions. But, yep, I was going to also translate some notes. I've got a bunch of notes for the True Life screenplay, but I'm still waiting to get back notes. So I've got my notes and I'm waiting for other notes before I move forward. I hate to write ahead on a script when you know people are going to give you feedback that is going to affect what you write. I don't like to spend too much time rewriting stuff that if you just did it right the first time, you'd save time. So instead I'm not doing that. I'm waiting. Let's see. How's the music? I've got the computer at a different spot. I don't know if it's too loud. The animated video. I didn't. Did I? What? Sorry. Remind me. Remind my brain of mush. Did you send me a link? Have water prices gone? Water bottle prices have not gone up. No, it's still pretty cheap to buy water. Wherever that comes from, I don't know. I still have tap water too, so it's okay. And we don't have to boil it or anything. The water we have is good. Let's see. Oh. Oh, yeah. Sergio, I'm sure you have to, like, have stocked up water bottles, right? You're probably very versed in being ready for hurricanes. How many times have you had to board up and go away and, you know, flee to higher ground? I'm a writer, you know. Oh, and Instagram. Sorry, Yvette. Yeah, Instagram is not my go-to place. I'm there sometimes. I've tried to build. Well, let's see. Yeah, you did do that, didn't you? Yeah, it took me a while to find it. Oh yeah, I'm still in the wrong. You sent it to everything, Anne, I thought. Oh, it's over here. There you are. All right. I gotta make a note to do it. Oh, The Bloodline. The Untold Book Series. Huh. Sorry, I did not. Oh, because that was... All right. I'll make myself a note. Let's see. I'm going to make myself a note and stick it on my phone. That's why I didn't remember. So much running through the brain. Instagram. So we can talk about it Monday. I'll watch it after. Animation. I have to write a note that I actually remember, because then I'll be like, why should I go to Instagram? All right. I'll do it. Ask Sergio. I'm very slow on checking videos people send me. He sends me many videos. Time to stock up. Well, oh, yeah, you're right. We'll see what happens. It's not like we're going to be out of water tomorrow or, you know, in the coming couple years. Yeah, hoarding is an issue, isn't it? Well, haven't we learned that from the pandemic? I feel like after we've gotten through the worst of the pandemic, like last year's hoarding, I'm still using up some toilet paper that I don't want to use up. I'd rather just buy new. Because I remember in the height of all that, we went and bought toilet paper because everyone was buying toilet paper and you weren't going to buy any. And we didn't buy a lot, but we bought some really cheap toilet paper. And my husband's decided, wisely I'm sure, that we should use it before we buy any new toilet paper. I'm like, why can't we leave it as backup? It should be backup toilet paper. It's so bad, it should be backup toilet paper. But somewhere along the way, we bought a couple of things of it, some big things of it, enough to fill up, the cabinet. And then afterwards, we kept buying. When we bought new, better stuff. When the good stuff came back out, we were buying that and using that. So now, he's like, well, let's use up the bad stuff. Like, but that's the reserve toilet paper. You're never supposed to use it. It's supposed to always be there, awful, unused. Anyway, we're using it. I vent. You guys are good listeners. Toilet paper, really. We didn't buy a lot. We just bought some to have on hand because everyone was buying it. But I didn't have a room full of it or anything. I just had a shelf in my pantry. Food and water. No, we did that too. And I should go back. I mean, I remember once all that started, I ordered a lot of food online. I ordered Omaha Steak Company because they do not just steaks, but I ordered stuff like that. I ordered because, but I don't think there ever was a shortage here. There wasn't that I knew of food staples. I mean, you could go in the store and everything was sort of bought down. It was sort of weird to see that, but there was still stuff. You could still buy pizza. But now I don't know. I didn't go so far as I was gonna buy I was thinking of getting one of those storage freezers because I figured we should have stuff. Everyone buys toilet paper. You buy food and water. Good luck eating your toilet paper. No, I hear you. But you need the toilet paper for after you eat all the food and water. I don't know why people went nuts over it. I think because I can't imagine if you actually were hoarding it to the point where you bought that much. Like they talked about people that were buying like pallets of it. I mean, I hope they bought the good stuff because they're going to have it for a long time. Are they using it now? They've got a room full of toilet paper. It's one of those little fun stories of the 2020s. Yeah, I hear you, Vet. We probably do, outside the fact that it doesn't really rain here. Not like we could, it would be, it would probably be this much water we could collect. We don't get a lot of rain, and when we do, it's flooding rain. I mean, oh gosh, it was probably 2 weeks ago. We had like a flash flood warning that actually hit our area, and the water was running down the streets and the gutter, but I can't catch that. I mean, that comes from raining in the mountains, and then it's just a lot, it comes down. Obviously, it was raining a lot here, and we're obviously in a part. Obviously. Why am I saying obviously all the time? But we are in a runoff area. So, if I've learned anything from last year is no matter what I save, it's not going to be enough. I can't hoard that much stuff. There are a lot of people in this part of the world that do believe in being preppers, right? It's more of a prepper than a hoarder, I should say. They believe in prepping and they have special rooms for all that stuff. I don't. There have been different times in my life that we've heeded the warning, and there was one time where they put a big scare for everybody here that you had to be ready for an earthquake. We could get an earthquake because we live in a valley, And it would probably, if one hit us here, although I don't know if we're really on a major fault line, but obviously there's fault lines everywhere. So if one became active, that's where they're like, you should have 2 trash cans, the big trash cans, full of stuff. And one should be full of like toilet paper, that kind of supplies, first aid, all that. And the other one should be full of food. And you're supposed to keep it in your garage, which our garages get really hot. So the food would have to be canned. And I don't know if I even want my canned food to get really hot. Like, it's get to over 100 degrees can get in the garage. It could. Well, it's probably close. Probably in the 90s. Anyway, I digress. The whole point was you're supposed to put it in those trash cans, because then you fill those trash cans up with water when disaster hits. So we tried that, and then disaster did not hit. I went to Sam's Club, like a Costco. Do you have those big stores and box stores? And I bought a huge bag of rice. I had rice forever and a day. But I should do that. You're right. We should all have supplies to last for a few weeks, a few months. I don't know. I always feel like my plan is to get in my car and go somewhere. Leave. Go somewhere where there is stuff. Of course, we couldn't do that during the pandemic. You'd think we'd learn. I don't know. What have you guys done to prep for a rainy or a not rainy day? We've all just been through something that taught us we should be a little more prepared. Are we? I mean, for myself, I'd have to say maybe not. I'm not prepared if everything's shut down. But as we've seen, everything doesn't really shut down. I mean, there's still stuff. There's still food. I could still get gasoline. I could still get toilet paper. It wasn't good, but I could still get toilet paper. I could still get water and food, groceries, takeout. That's good. Yeah, well, Yvette, you were ready more than anybody. And I think that's probably the main lesson here, is you have to be living it to make it work, right? No water. So you hadn't had any stored water, but so did you have problem with water in your area? We didn't have any problem with water, but I guess you're saying if there was a problem with the water. Well, if there was a big disaster, you're supposed to go and fill up all your tubs with water. And that might get you, because you could then boil that. You're supposed to do that. That's what we're told. I mean, I've lived in enough areas that you had some knowledge, some disaster knowledge. So I guess that's what I would do if I felt like the water. No, I am trying to work on a long-term plan this discussion has begun. What are we going to do when that becomes critical in the area we live in? And what I've learned so far is that the whole western part of the United States, all the western states, have a serious drought. And I didn't know that. So being aware is the first step. Yeah. Solar powered is smart. Tubs, sinks, jugs, bottles. Sounds like you've lived somewhere where there were water shortages. Or hurricanes too, Allie. Coffee. Yeah, I have to have water to make my coffee. Otherwise, I'd really be in trouble. That's what I need. I need plenty of Keurigs. I need a solar system to operate the Keurig. I'm making light of it, but I am a little serious. Girl's gotta have her coffee. I don't know. Yeah. Well, all I know is that when the pandemic started in our area, I heard reports of people starting to buy the stuff. You know, things were being bought up. You know, it was like, at first, our area did treat it like it was a hurricane, where during a hurricane, Sergio will attest to it. You'll know that you go into the stores and everything's been bought down. So people do constantly rely on a disaster hitting before they actually buy stuff they need. And that's certainly what happened here. And I was definitely the first one in my family saying, we need, we're low on supplies. Years ago we'd been better, so we should go out and buy some supplies. And my husband was like, not to put him down, but he was taken back, like all of us were, how huge the pandemic turned out. And he was like, it's not nothing. Nothing's going to happen. But luckily, on the side, I just decided, okay, we're not going to go and make a huge shop and fill up the freezer. But I did start buying a few extra things, like when I'd go to the grocery store there for, because there was like a slow trickle. It started slow, I feel like. Especially in the United States. I feel like we didn't take it seriously as it creeped into our country. Are we still taking it seriously? I don't know. But you're right. I need to revisit my prepping plans. I gotta start watching. Have you watched those prepper shows? They're kind of fun. But I did, Yvette, I looked seriously into what could I have a little camper, and I could store it in the garage, park the car outside, have something like that ready to go that you clip on. You ever see the movie The Accountant? Where the guy was he was a killer, but he, on the moment's notice, well, he wasn't a killer. Well, yeah, I guess he was. But he was, anyway, whatever he was. He had that, what do they call it, a silver stream, he had that camper all ready to go with all his stuff, which was his weapons and his money. Yeah, that's how you started. I love your story. All right, I'm going to try to edit something here. In the 8 minutes left of this writing sprint. The thing is, I still feel like, after looking into the cost of it, for one, I don't want to give my husband the wrong idea that I want to go camping. And if I frame it with him as like, hey, let's get this camper to just have in case we need to get out of town fast. I think we just pack the cars and go, right? I could sleep in the car. I don't know. Still mulling that over. I can't do what you did, Yvette, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to move into a camper. I got too much stuff. I'd rather sort of figure out how to live here. So I need the stuff where I should be finding out. I should have a hot house in the back so I can grow some of my own vegetables. I should have a water collection system, or it's all that. I don't know. Or have a plan, which I'm still looking. I'm looking for a place I could go. Where could I go if I did just suddenly said, we got to get out of here, pack the car, and just leave? Where would you go? Do you guys? Where's your plan, Allie? Where would you go? Next year. Yeah, that's a good point. It takes money. The cool thing, I take from Yvette's story is that, she saw a need and something she wanted to do, so she went down that path, and it took you several years, right, especially to get to where you are now, but just to get started. So I have the knowledge, the seed is there, and I'm looking for solutions. So I'm still at a very early stage. But you're right. I should revisit. I still have a lot of stores in the house. Like I still have some cans of stuff. I could make at least a week full of food. I have enough food in the house, I feel like, to eat for a week. I wouldn't like what I was eating. I think. I don't know if I have enough for 2 people for a week. But I mean, you know, if I think somewhere I have still some ramen noodles stuffed into a closet, so I could eat noodles. Yikes! What do you say? Mountain Savers. Ooh, on a mountain island. Good. You're protected from zombies there. Yeah. Yeah, if the zombie apocalypse happened, I'd just go join the zombies. I mean, why fight it? That's just not a battle I want. I've seen those movies. I would not be the protagonist. Uh-huh. I still have faith in humanity to pull it off and not destroy the planet. Don't ask me why. Allie, you're thinking. Your brain never stops. Yeah, no, mine's a slow burn. I keep feeling like I could find some little pocket of area in the western states. I don't want to go east. I don't, no offense to everyone that's east. Well, for one thing, it's far. Yeah. Yeah, Yvette, I I don't think I could live that tiny. I love those shows. I watch Tiny House Hunters, anything. I find it. Oh gosh, I've been searching on YouTube for some of these trailers, so now I'm getting all these YouTube recommendations of these ways to live tiny, and I find them fascinating. At one point, what I wanted to do, and this would still probably be a plan, is I wanted to get a little trailer like that and put it in the backyard. We have a very big side backyard that's just rocks. We took out the grass a long time ago to conserve water. And I would like to get like it set up so I could hook it up, and that could be like a fun little office. And then the backup plan would be, if I needed to, we would hook it up and vamoose on it, right? So that's in my mind, but I don't, that would take some work to do that. Obviously, it all takes work, but that might make sense, because then I could get used to it. But I know it'd be really hard to live in something that small. You could do anything, obviously, and you're just one person, so I get that. To me, one person would be really easy. I'm thinking about two people, and then I still have, I have family here. I can't leave that would need me, so they'd have to come with me. So I don't know. My plan, the plan I want is, I want to buy a condo in some town where they have some water supply. I could drive to it, within a day, within a day's drive, and it's something I could slowly set up. So I could have this little condo, townhome, I don't know what. Anyway, that to me would be more with my life. And then you could actually go to it and enjoy it, and at least have a different base where the conditions there wouldn't be exactly like here. I think that might work better for my life. That's something that I could get other people, in my mind, it's a backup plan if everything goes to hell. But it also looks like a really good plan to have a second home. But once again, we're talking money. That's like a serious plan. It's not buying a $30,000, hopefully less, camper. I would want a tricked out camper, and I'm not. I know that you were so smart. You negotiated so well. You fixed stuff up. But none of that's in my genes. I would have to save the money and buy a really nice camper, or at least one that had all that stuff. So all of that is not on the agenda. So it started, though. The wheels are moving. Zombies. We talk about zombies like it's gonna happen. Like it's already happening. I think we watch too many movies. Let's hope. Yeah. Coffee though. I need to stock up on coffee. And so that means I do still. I have like I bought one of those big things of water. The timer. We did it. You did it. Congratulations. You did your first 25-minute writing sprint. And I talked about being a prepper. I didn't even talk about writing. I hear you, Yvette. You're right. Like I said, you know how long it took you. And I have to, it's not just me. I have to change, I have a husband that he has to be on board too. So, we will see. I'll keep you posted on that. Since it's an interesting topic. And I feel like for once in the time of history, the majority of people in the world, if not all of us, can relate to this one issue. We all have lived it. That's kind of unique, don't you think? All right, I'm having me some Tim Hortons. Maybe I could go somewhere near the border, the Canada-American border, where there's a Tim Hortons. Now, that would be a city I'd want to live in. Okay. Oh, got hit the right buttons. Shazam! The coffee is coming! So what can we talk about for writing? So almost like a year ago today, not today, but this month, I started a content creator challenge. And it was something to do during pandemic because I was sort of like thinking the world would never be the same and I needed to focus on something calming and something fun, which was my creativity. And so I decided I would, nap time. Thanks for popping in, Allie. So I decided I would start doing this content creator challenge and I would videotape it, and every month I would, sort of say, this is what I'm trying to do. This is the tally of what I've created, and just see where it got me. And I think I was kind of sort of diligent about it for 6 months. I mean, sometimes it was hard to do videos. I still haven't figured out how to capture your screen and have yourself there. I mean, I did it in a very bad way, cheap way. Hugs, yawns. I appreciate you popping in, Allie, by the way. I know you're a busy girl. Good to see your name. Anyway, so my year's up. It was basically a year in the month because I said I'd do it till the end of September. And I did not post every month, but after a while, after 6 months, but I kept doing it. That's what my point. I kept doing it. Obviously, I'm still doing it. It will not end at the end of this challenge, but the challenge is technically over. I learned quickly that every time I was posting, I was always posting this sort of same stuff. So after a while, you're like, what's the point of doing it? If I'm just going to say the same thing. But I am going to do like a year-end tally. Maybe I'll just do it a Facebook Live or something on that channel. I did create a page for the Content Creator Challenge. But overall, what I learned was, I don't want to talk too long here before I get you started. We will start the second 25-minute writing sprint in about a minute. Mostly what I learned is if I made the intention that I was going to, at the beginning of the month, say, this is what I'm going to work on and this is what I want to complete. The odds were that I completed something, and the best odds were that I actually made progress on my projects. And for me, I have a lot of projects that I like to work on, So it also helped me focus it down a little bit and get some real progress. So that was my biggest takeaway of the whole thing. I'm going to get the clock started for those of us writing at home. Our second 25-minute writing sprint. On your mark, get set, write. Because I'm focused on my coffee for a few more minutes. I'll probably join you at 20 after. Whoa. That's a little much creamer. Much music and much creamer. You guys in Canada know much music? I think that's what they called it. Let's see. Mr. Shaken, not stirred. No, stirred, not shaken. Yeah, we don't want to shake our coffee. Yeah. First of the day. You know, I was reading something about how cortisol levels, whatever, when you wake up in the morning, you usually have a higher cortisol level. And that's what makes you get up and go. Woo! So maybe if you get up slow, you don't have a high cortisol level. Oh, my light went off. Guess I should put it. Ah, can you see me better? Oh, now you really can. Oh, go. I think that's better. Yeah, now I'm evenly lit. Anyway, caffeine, as in coffee caffeine, also boosts those cortisol levels or whatever. I might have it backwards because I'm not a scientist or a doctor. But the point is that if you get up first thing in the morning, that's not when you should be drinking coffee. You should have water because you're dehydrated already, and this dehydrates you even more. So, and you're adding to this cortisol level thing. Research it amongst yourselves. And so the point is that you should get up, drink water, and then have your coffee. So that's what I've been doing. I haven't really noticed a difference but I think it's better for it's better for your system, and that's what's important. But if you want to know more about the Content Creator Challenge, in a year I did create a lot because I had the intention, and that to me sort of, it matters. It's the same with the prepper stuff we're talking about. I have the intention to be more prepared the next time something bad happens. And you can look around wherever you live and you can sort of see what those things could be. So obviously I have identified one thing. And it's nice to work towards getting there. So maybe I should have a year goal to figure out this problem of what I would do if I had to leave my home and go somewhere where it was better to live. What would I do? So, you know, I think that's logical, possible. It's not a bad problem to suss out. To be prepared, like, you know, the Boy Scouts, they had that right. Be prepared. I definitely would have to figure out where to keep all my writing stuff. I could put all my writing stuff in one trailer. That's why I want a trailer in the backyard to do this. It's such a grand scheme plan. You don't understand. My backyard, I couldn't get a trailer in it. We'd have to build a path from the road. We'd have to break down a big old stone wall, put up a big gate. We won't have, none of that exists. And where I live, I probably have to get permission to do all that work. I mean, I know I would, because it would change a bit of the aesthetics. And frankly, there's trees in the way. It'd be easier to make a door on the other side of the wall, because it actually goes out to a main street. But of course, that the community would never allow. So I could get a crane to pick up a trailer and put it in my backyard. I could do that because people do that all the time with hot tubs. So why not a trailer? Yeah, that was sort of fun. Once upon a time, we had a hot tub. I would never buy a hot tub again. For one thing, it was bloody expensive. We were really stupid. We had some money, and so we fixed up our backyard. Different house. Not this house. The house we lost in 2008. Had to get out of that one. Yeah. Good times, Yvette. You brought all that back when we were talking about it. I was like, yeah, I remember 2008. Anyway, We survived it all with our dignity intact, I guess, mostly. But we had to sell off stuff. So we had the fun of watching them fly a hot tub into our house. And when we had to sell it, we watched it fly out. Yeah, that's not fun. You guys been through that? Where you have to sell off all your stuff to pay your mortgage? Definitely learned a lesson there. Never again to put ourselves in that situation. All right. Since it's just me and one other diehard out there, I hope you're writing. I'm going to do a little editing here. With the a full 18 minutes we have left. It's yay, Yvette! I thought it was you. Thanks for hanging in. I hope you got episode 9 to work on. I want you to get back to your diva story though. It needs I know you can have a natural end in your 4th episode, but I think you need to continue it since you've gotten a lot of fans to it. And start off like you're writing to me, like you're telling me what I need to do it. You need like so you've had here's my story 4 episodes. Now you have here's the steps to take. And you're not an expert, but you've done it. And these are the steps you took, and this is how you would follow it. These are all the things you need to think through. You need to do a how-to guide for me, okay? Oh. I don't know. That sounds like it would take a lot of time to do, though. So, I don't know. But if that's the one that people are reading, that's what I've been waiting for with all the stuff I create. I'm waiting for that one thing to take off, and then I'm going to double down on that. So far, I put out, last week I put up here was that my coloring book. I don't know about that. It didn't take long to create it, but I made it, and I started I blasted it on YouTube. Oh, not YouTube. Facebook. So on Facebook, I did I don't know. What I do is I do a blog post. So it's on my book page, not my Ann Kimbrough Facebook, but one of those special pages for the business of my book company, Everything Journals. And then I just blast that post, right? Seems to be the easiest way to do an ad on Facebook. And in the past, I've had good luck with it for this kind of book, where it has driven people to buy it. And, I've only ever tested it out. I haven't made a huge campaign. I want to, though. To me, a huge campaign is you need to advertise a book for for several months, I really think. Well, you're supposed to do it constantly. All the people I know that make money on Amazon with their books, they have a long back house, what do they call it? Back catalog. And they promote them all the time. So they have a budget every month. They put they put a few $100s into it, but they make money. They cover that cost. And I've yet to dial that in because, you got to spend a lot of money to figure that out, I think, sometimes. So I've tested it here and there. And what I learned with the coloring book is that something's off. Something's not working. Well, for one thing, I think I only let it run for 2 days, 3 days. I spent $10 to learn that. I drove maybe 1,100 people, or 1,100 eyes saw the ad, saw the post, and 24 people clicked. Nobody bought it. So I don't know. You would think one person would say, "Oh, that looks cool." So there's something. I don't know, like the look inside feature wasn't there yet, so they didn't get to see what the book was inside, but it said what it was. And what I went to do is I videotaped, because you can add a video to your page so on Amazon, so I videotaped the inside so people could see like 4 of the pages. But that's not at the top, you know, you've got to sort of scroll down to find that. So I think that could have been part of the problem, is that people don't want to buy something that they can't see inside. I mean, I would be that way about a coloring book for sure. So I think I need to create a different, like a real ad, or the blog post has to show the inside of the book. Somehow I have to give that feature, because I don't know if Amazon's going to add it for a coloring book. They might, but it's like for you know, that look inside feature, it's just automatically comes up. I mean, you can, Amazon's really good about answering your messages. You know, they seem like they're hard to find, but if you do that, contact me through KDP Publishing and send them what your issue is, they'll fix it. They fixed my author pen name issue that I talked about last week. They were able to combine the accounts, and so now I have access to all 3 of my main pen names, which are I've decided they're going to be all the pen names for now. If I can't write under those pen names, then I'm not going to write it. That's the thing. So anything for children is Anne Kimbrough, although it's also for my screenwriting name, but it's for Amazon. Anne Kimbrough does all my children's books. Anne Audrey will be all my mystery. And then I have everything journals. And that's for any journal I create. But yeah, I'm still looking for that thing. All these different things I do. The podcasts, the journals, the fiction books, the nonfiction. I don't know. I always, excuse me, I always had it in me. I wanted to write a book on outlining. Excuse me, because I feel like that's my super strength as a writer. I'm really good with structure. Hopefully I'm good at other stuff too, but you know, like the foundation of my writing is structure. You got to be able to tell a good story, right? And I feel like that comes from outlining. So I always wanted to write an outlining book, like going through all the ways that are traditionally like all the ways you're taught to outline, and then how I blend it all together. But I don't know. I think everybody has to come up with their own form of outlining. Well, I'm glad it's doing good. Yeah, I should get the I should promote you too. I'll try to do. Let me put down. I know Saint City. Yeah, I gotta promo Tim because I said I would, and then I'll promo you after. Okay, to whichever velo you want. Just let me know. Because that's why I started doing this. Is because everybody I knew was releasing books, and I was releasing books. So I want to promote my stuff, sure, but I want to promote your guys' stuff too. I don't know how many people see it though. I don't know what kind of a promotion, just to be honest. I mean, these videos, some of these videos get a lot of views for the wrong reasons, so I don't know if it promotes anything but my stomach growling. And then other videos, I gotta promote this. I gotta promote it more. I probably do. I don't know. Promotion. That's my prepper thing I'm doing right now. That's what I've been working on for a while. How to promote what I create. It doesn't matter. Well, you decide what you want promoted. I can promote them all. But if you want Saint City or your Diva Off the Grid, at least it's nice to see your thumbnail up here. Maybe it'll drive 2 people to it. Honestly, all the stuff I did to promote my Kindle Vella. I think all it did was educate people what Kindle Vella was. Honest. I have not, outside of this group, talked to anyone that knew what Kindle Vella was. Nobody. Well, I mean, I know that they haven't technically launched it to the world, but it's just like a little secret thing. All right, I'm actually reading now. And it's working. Well, actually, I got a full day of the thing I'm really, really, really excited about. She said that she's working, but she's not. Is this new journal. It's a mashup with a public domain work. I'm really excited about it. It's nothing like I've ever done before. I don't know if it's quite like anything anyone's ever done before. But that's something I do want to apply what I've promoted. Or what I've learned about promotion. So I've got in line for when my scary newscast, when we're going to launch it on Halloween. And I have a whole plan for that. And I feel like that's my prepper thing when it comes to books. What I've been learning for years, at least a year or more, is how to properly promote whatever you've created, whether it's a book or a podcast. And it's a big process, right? So and it costs money. And I feel like I don't want to do it for things that I don't deem as worthy. And worthy in the sense of, one, there's got to be a market for it. There's got to be, people constantly buying those things or listening to those things. And two, I have to have enough content. So no matter what, I can't do it for one book. How many books? She asked herself. Well, with the podcast, I'm going to have 24 episodes. So that's very worthy to spend money on to promote. And of course, that's a whole different beast. If you guys, someone asked me the other day, who asked me? Oh, my hair girl, the girl who cuts my hair. Stylist. She said, yeah, somebody actually does this. It's shorter. Do you notice? I got my hair trimmed. She's not responsible for how it looks this morning, though. That's all me. Book funnel. Yeah, that's a good one. There are so many. So the thing is that you have to, for me, I have to combine it with all the free ways, because yeah, I could take a couple $100 and throw it at it and it wouldn't hurt terribly. But I do know that if you put in effort to promote a book and all the free ways you can promote it, it does pay off. I've had it happen for books. So it's just never equated, a month of promoting a book on all the free ways you can do it. Guest blogging, all that stuff. It's a lot. There's a lot you can do. All of that. For the book I did, it only equaled a couple $100. So you have to weigh it, right? So to me, though, it's now a process where I need to work on it. I think what I'm going with is an 8-week. It's an 8-week promo plan, and it's a multi-level of stuff, of paid, free, attack. And it's going to be have to be single-minded about it, really. It's going to take a lot of time. And we'll see if I can launch something. So I'm going to do that for the podcast, and I'm probably going to do that for this new book that I'm excited about, this mashup. And I don't know if I should do it for the Fit Girls once I get the 2 paperbacks out. That's what I'm going to get one out this week. Well, out just means I'm going to get it up. I need to get the proof in. That could take about 4 or 5 days to get it. So technically it won't be live for at least 2 weeks, maybe week and a half. But all of that, it's a lot of effort, right? So when it comes to podcasting, at least with books, you are going directly for the sale. With podcasting, you aren't. I mean, the podcasts are free. Anyone can listen to them. So what I'm trying to do is just to make it popular. If it's popular, then you get sponsors. And that's a longer process, and it's probably, I'm going to give it 6 months of starting with the first promotion. Then we're going to mine the content in those first 24 shows and build the YouTube channel. And if we can get the YouTube channel monetized, then that's the goal. And we can. I mean, it's doable. And I've put a lot of effort into learning all the steps you have to take to make that happen. And I've taken the time, which has been the hardest for me. I've taken the time to create the content. I'm still creating the content. I'm on episode 8 of 24 though. But I have until Halloween. Yay! But I have almost all the shows have been recorded. So it's just a matter of editing. And if I get down to it, I could probably pull in someone on Fiverr to do some editing to make it faster. My partner keeps saying we should do that. But I'm such a control freak. Are you guys like that? I do like, so in the beginning, I have a friend that has her own little small press, and she started by publishing her own books. Very smart lady. She figured it all out. Luckily, of course, Amazon does make it quite easy. And in the beginning, she published my books. And I was really happy with that because I didn't want to take on the publishing process. But over time, I realized I could. And I did. And she was very generous and happily let me take my stuff back. And now I do it all. And I like that. I like doing it all. For one thing, I want to answer to me. For two, the quality is high because I want it to be high. Although I'm proofing this book and I'm like, girl, I don't know. Honestly, so the books I create, I proof it a gajillion times while I'm writing it. I proof it after I've written it. I listen to it back and read it. I can't tell you how many times I've read these books over the years. I pay people to read it. I have friends that are very good editors and they read it for me. And you still miss stuff. I don't get it. How is that possible? I mean, I'm reading this one right now and I'm just like, crap. I'm gonna have to re-upload the Kindles too after this is done. But to me, that content quality is huge. And being in charge of it all myself, I can make it happen. But yeah. So once again, it goes back to me saying that I'm still waiting for the thing that takes off. You know, if these books took off, this is all I would work on. I love them. That's the hard part for me. I can't decide for the market what's the most interesting. I like to write everything I write. And this goes to screenwriting too, because that was my thing with screenwriters, where I actually annoyed some friends. I hate to say it, but I did, because they were constantly writing screenplays and putting them into contests. Screenwriting contests are expensive. And the majority of people in screenwriting contests, I don't know why they're entering. Because the majority, and I don't want to annoy any of you, but the majority of screenwriting contests, to me, just create a deadline. So you have to have something done to enter it into the contest. I think that's a good reason to enter a contest. But they're expensive, and most contests don't get you anything. I mean, they don't get you noticed, even if you won them. These small local ones, nobody that's anybody are reading them. And the bigger contests, there are a handful of good contests that if you either place, or definitely if you win them, you can win money. It means something to agents, or more like managers. You could actually, use it in a query letter to say this script, placed it, I don't know, Nichols Fellowship. Nichols is one, and I would say Nichols is probably the one that anybody will read a Nichols script, even if you're just like a semifinalist, even a quarterfinalist. If you could say I was a quarterfinalist in Nichols with a script, people would read you. Ah! up again. Boy, it goes so fast when I'm talking and not doing any work. But I will be working after I leave you. I don't sit here and talk to myself. Although it probably seems like I probably would, but I don't. I actually work. But I like talking to you. You guys are such good listeners. Anyway, the bottom line with all that jazz is that there are many, even with screenplays, you have to test the market. And if you can't go out to producers, just like if I can't put up these books and find readers, then it doesn't deserve much more of my time, right? I don't want it to feel like I'm just throwing stuff at the wall. Obviously, I'm working on things that I think have marketability, are fun to read, are a good script, for a good audience. Obviously I think all those things. They're high concepts. So scripts, I like to have a high concept, something I can pitch, but would make a good movie. But if I don't take that out and actually try to sell it or get it optioned by people that make movies, if all I do with it is put it into contests, at some point you're like, well, what's the goal? Oh, yeah, you could definitely do that. Excuse me. I have to tell you that I've tried, I've been around a while. I have tried many of these things. And the key is that you have to figure out what you could do with the time you have. There's so many avenues. So yeah, turning something into animated video, to me, that's part of building your YouTube channel. So that's the second part of the plan when it comes to the podcast. So we'll see. We're not going to make it animated though. But I mean, one of the things that always got me about screenwriting in books is if you go to different conferences or hear different people talk, just reading articles, people will say, publish the book because Hollywood likes to buy books. Well, it's not easy to publish a book to get someone in Hollywood interested in your script or your material. And then people in Hollywood say the opposite. Or people in books say the opposite. They're like, oh, get a producer interested in your idea and then they'll make a book out of it. So there's like that catch-22 where neither of those are easy things to do. So create an animated video. I know you said that there was Blender and you can do it yourself. I have done that. Doodly? Is it Doodly? Yeah, I've looked into these things. I guess it boils down to, and that was another thing that came out of the Content Creator Challenge, is what I could do with the resources I have. Yeah, I'm sure you're talking about that too. You're a smart girl. So I appreciate you tuning in and offering some advice. I am going to go look at your video that link you gave me for the animation, and we'll see what that sparks. But for right now, I'm staying the course. My intentions are very clear about what I'm working on and what I'm pushing forward right now, but you never know what I'm thinking about. Cool. Well, I love something like that doesn't take too much time. The good thing about what I'm doing right now with the podcast is my son is working on it with me. So I actually am trusting someone with part of the workload, and he's doing all the video part. So the animation could definitely be a nice added factor. And I do still have this Doodly program where it's that one where a hand sort of sketches something. That's just, to me, it takes it's none of this, and I'm sure you would concur, none of this is a fast process. It all takes time. So once again, where are you going to spend your time? Hopefully it's writing. But at some point you do have to figure out how to get it out there. And not just a screenplay contest. Sorry, that's me on the soapbox. That was how I annoyed people, is that they would constantly post about entering their scripts into contests. And I was like, well, why don't you actually submit it to some agents? or managers or producers. I'm like, why not go to the source and just try to sell it? Why just keep entering contests? Contests don't get you that far. They're to me like a lottery. On my Screenwriters Beat channel, where these go, if you're interested in knowing more about contests, and if you haven't done it yet, read the one where the guy is a contest reader. That was very eye-opening, because my feeling was that contests look for a different kind of script than if you sent something to a producer. Producer's looking for a script that has a high concept that they know how to market and sell to the audience that they always make movies for. And the contest readers are looking for something new, avant-garde. They're not looking for something with a high concept that has a great market out there, right? So you have to evaluate what kind of script you're sending in, because there is a game to play with screenplay competitions. It needs to be really, I mean, high concept is still a good word to describe what your concept should be, but it needs to be so unique and out there, and to get the eye of a contest reader. They are looking for something way different than what a producer is looking for. So what are you writing for? That's the question. Because those weird, unique scripts, you're not going to be able to sell that to too many producers. Because, I mean, to me, that's a harder sell. They all say they want something unique, but I feel producers all have a line. They have a line, like a pickup line, but it's the opposite of a pickup. It's a rejection line, because producers never want to annoy anyone in the industry, because they have to work with everybody. And if you are pitching to them your script, they always want to say no, because they already have all the projects they want, but they have to listen, because they might hear that next great thing and they might realize it. They probably will hear it, but they probably won't realize it, because no one knows what the next great thing is until it becomes the next great thing. And they don't want to make anyone mad at them, so that once you are successful, you won't say, I'm never working with that guy because he was mean. So that's why that's why I say they have these lines, and you hear them, they come up. I should make a list somewhere, that'd be funny, of the things that producers tell writers to say no. Okay, and on that note, I will let you go and have a great weekend. Do something nice for yourself. You deserve it. And of course, keep writing. Thanks for joining me, Yvette. It was good to see you and chat. Thanks for your tips. I will be watching your animation video, and we'll discuss that on Monday if you're around. Thanks, Allie, Sergio, Tim. Good to see all you guys pop in. And for everyone that joins me after the fact, I hope you have had a great writing session. I appreciate you checking out the videos. If you can, like and follow so you can catch me live on Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. See. Bye. See you next week.